Did X11 call and say when he'd give the secret information to us?
Should be any minute now.
Oh, that's him.
Hello? Hello?
Try the belt, try the belt.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
In the early 1960s, comedian and director Mel Brooks, along with one of his friends and co-writers, Buck Henry, began working under commission from their friend Daniel Melnick, a business partner of a company titled Talent Associates. Their job? To write a script satirizing media of the spy genre, more specifically that of James Bond and the likes. Brooks and Henry quickly went to work on the idea before presenting the show in a pitch to the ABC network, where it was criticized for being, quote, un-American, end quote. Network executives demanded that the show should be more family-friendly, taking away the more dramatic spy tone and adding aspects such as glimpses into the characters' family lives and a dog to hold children's attention. Henry and Brooks quickly retracted their pitch and went on to other networks, unwilling to change their idea in such a drastic way just to meet the network standards. Not too long after, Brooks and Henry completed their task, successfully pitching the show to NBC, where their new show, now titled Get Smart, would premiere on September 18th of 1965. Get Smart focused around Maxwell Smart, a secret agent under the code name of Agent 86, who would be played by Don Adams. Smart worked for a United States government agency called Control. Although Control is completely capitalized, it did not serve as an actual acronym. Smart often worked alongside Agent 99, Barbara Feldon, receiving top-secret intelligence and mission instructions from the Chief of Control, played by Edward Platt. Agents 86 and 99, along with other agents of Control, fight against their nemesis organization, Chaos, an agency that is often described as
the International Organization of Evil.
Chaos? The International Organization of Evil?
The International Organization of Evil.
It should be noted that Chaos does not actually stand for anything as an acronym either. The first 4 seasons of Get Smart were filmed at Sunset Bronson Studios in Los Angeles before moving to the CBS Studio Center for filming the final season, which aired on CBS. Altogether, the series ran for a total of 5 seasons, with 138 episodes, and aired its last episode on May 15th of 1970. Episode plots centered around a Chaos agent or agents attempting to execute a new plot to take over the world, being an obvious satire of the James Bond franchise like Brooks intended for the series to be. One aspect of the show that drew in viewers, aside from the comedy, was the appearance of new spy gadgets and weapons in many episodes. Again, the inclusion of these weapons and gadgets were often in parody of James Bond, with some being largely impractical, while others were commonly seen gadgets within the genre. Perhaps the most well-known example of this would be Smart's signature shoe phone, a precursor to the cell phone in which a completely functional telephone was built into Smart's everyday shoes. Over the course of the show, crew members and cast contributed ideas to the gag gadgets, an activity that Adams was especially fond of doing. Aside from the shoe phone, another one of the most infamous gadgets from Get Smart is the Cone of Silence. The Cone of Silence was a device that usually no more than 2 people would enter, in order to prevent outsiders from listening in on top-secret discussions. At least, that was the idea. In reality, it was nearly impossible for anyone inside the cone to hear what the other party was saying, and vice versa, while it was effortlessly easy for those on the outside of the device to hear the conversation.
Now, from here on, everything is Class A security. Here's what I want you to do.
Wait a minute, Chief. Didn't you just say Class A security?
I did.
Well, then shouldn't we...
Do you want me to leave the room?
That won't be necessary, Hodgkins. We can talk under the Cone of Silence.
The Cone of Silence?
Well, this is a magenta alert, isn't it?
The Cone of Silence. I am deeply concerned about the conference room.
What?
I'm concerned about the conference room.
How's that?
He's concerned about the conference room.
Oh.
I want it thoroughly inspected for hidden devices, microphones, bombs.
What?
Check for microphones and bombs.
Oh. Well, do you really think that's necessary, Chief? I mean, isn't that an anti-infiltration tactic?
What?
He wonders if that's an anti-infiltration tactic.
Oh. Why am I talking to you? Will you get this thing off of me?
It is unknown if it was intentional or not, but some fans and researchers theorized that the idea for the Cone of Silence could have been borrowed from the television show Science Fiction Theater. Within Science Fiction Theater, there was an episode that contains a device similar to that of the Cone of Silence, and is referred to by the same name, airing 10 years before the debut of Get Smart. While each episode was often a self-contained plot, many recurring characters and plot details did appear in several episodes. Probably the largest overarching plot detail was often the uncertainty of the relationship between 86 and 99, in which they often showed romantic interest in each other. This arc wraps up in the 4th season when Max and 99 get married before giving birth to twins in the 5th season. While Max may be a member of a top-secret government agency, he demonstrates complete ineptitude when it comes to both his intelligence and physical prowess. However, despite his bumbling persona, Smart still manages to outperform almost, if not all, other Control members in the line of duty, with his record stating that he's averted national and global crises multiple times. While Smart is indeed often incompetent in the field, he is shown to work best under pressure, showing his resourcefulness and proficiency in close-quarter combat and marksmanship, combined with his extremely fortunate bouts of pure luck. 99, on the other hand, is a more capable agent in the field, exhibiting all the same skills as Smart. However, even though she is overall more competent than Max, Smart still winds up saving her on multiple occasions. While the Chief is rarely seen outside of the Control headquarters, he plays quite a large role in the story. Little to no information is known about his personal life, other than the reveal in Season 1 where we learn that the Chief's first name is Thaddeus, but even this information rarely ever comes up again. The Chief often expresses annoyance and frustration with Max's ineptitude, but still shows a large amount of appreciation for both Max and 99, even referring to the duo as two of his closest friends. Minor characters, while only seen once or twice at times, play a significant role in assisting 86 and 99. Agent K-13, also known as Fang, is one of Control's K-9 agents during the 1st and 2nd season. While Fang ultimately helps 86 and 99, his efforts were not assisted by his poor training as a result of Max training him during their time in spy school, where they were apparently in the same graduating class. Alongside Fang, Jaime the robot played a valuable role in Control's arsenal of agents. Jaime was originally a robot built to assist Chaos before being converted to Control's side by Smart during his first test mission.
Jaime, destroy Smart. I said destroy him.
It's all right, Jaime. I understand. You're not responsible for what you're doing. It's not your fault. I know that under that metal body of yours, there beats the mechanical heart of a really nice guy.
Jaime, you're crying.
Take it easy, Jaime. You'll rust your eyeball.
I gave you an order, you monster. I order you to destroy.
I didn't think it would work.
Thank you, honey. I'll get Dr. Shotwire.
Jaime, shake. No, Jaime. Shake hands.
The last season of Get Smart moved to CBS and ended with its 138th episode, I Am Curiously Yellow, on May 15th of 1970. While not much is known as to exactly why Get Smart was canceled after being picked up by CBS, most theories and science point towards the shift in tone. During its run on NBC, the show was largely portrayed as a satire, but after the move to CBS, it turned into a program more similar to a traditional sitcom, with more overt jokes and gags being made, as opposed to the often subtle humor of the first 4 seasons. After the last season aired on CBS, the show moved to syndication for reruns for over a decade. Traditionally, most shows that enter syndication after they have been canceled run for only 3 or 4 years before being removed from the air once again. Due to how popular Get Smart was during its time in syndication, Universal Pictures picked up the property and began development for a movie. The movie was released in theaters in May of 1980 under the title of The Nude Bomb, but would later be retitled To the Return of Maxwell Smart for television broadcasts. The Nude Bomb brought back Don Adams as Smart, but aside from Adams, the only other original cast member who would return was Robert Carvelis, who played Larrabee, the Chief's assistant. Dana Elcar was cast to play the role of the Chief within the film, as Edward Platt had passed away 6 years prior in 1974. In the case of Agent 99, the character was not recast within the movie, nor were there any references made to her marriage or outside life with Smart anywhere in the movie. According to Barbara Feldon, she was never offered a part in the film, or even aware that it was being produced. Another major difference between the show and the film was the title of the organization that 86 worked for. What was called Control in the series would now be renamed to PITS, this time actually being an acronym standing for Provisional Intelligence Tactical Service. In an attempt to gain more notoriety, the film touted the fact that it was only rated PG. While there was no actual frontal nudity found within the film, the introduction of the movie even boasted a tagline of, "Would you believe a film called The Nude Bomb would get a PG rating?" Side note, the MPAA rating of PG-13 would not be created until 4 years later in 1984, with Red Dawn being the first movie to be released with a PG-13 rating. Despite the attempt to gain more publicity through promoting itself as such, The Nude Bomb was ultimately a box office failure, only earning $14.7 million, losing a total of $300,000 of potential profit as the film's budget was around $15 million. Even though the first film was less than successful, almost another decade later, the movie Get Smart Again would air on ABC in 1989. Get Smart Again was a made-for-television movie that starred both Don Adams and Barbara Feldon reprising their roles as 86 and 99. Again was created to act as more of a reunion film for the surviving members of the original cast, seeing the return of characters such as Jaime the Robot and Larrabee. Alongside the returning cast members, the movie also saw Mel Brooks, Buck Henry, and Leonard Stern return to write the script. With the combined efforts of the cast and crew, the television movie aired on February 26th of 1989 and saw relatively moderate success among viewers. This success was enough to prompt development on a new revival series, which was slated for a release in the mid-90s. In 1995, the Fox network would air the new series, keeping the title of Get Smart. Within this revival, we saw Adams and Feldon once again return to their roles as Smart in 99. However, Smart has now taken the place as Chief of Control, while 99 works as a congresswoman. Instead of focusing on the misadventures of Max, the series instead focused on his son, Zachary Smart, who was played by Andy Dick. Zach would have a partner, to parallel the role 99 served to Max, with Agent 66, Elaine Hendricks, teaming up with Zach. The series was short-lived though, as only a total of 7 episodes ever aired, with the first airing on January 8th of 1995 and the last airing on February 19th of the same year. The Get Smart revival was the last time that Maxwell Smart, 99, and the rest of Control starred on the small screen. Yet this wouldn't be the last adventure the agents would experience. June 20th of 2008 saw the release of Get Smart, a feature film from Warner Brothers that starred Steve Carell as Maxwell Smart and Anne Hathaway as 99. The movie portrays Smart as an information analyst for Control, who desires to become a field agent, showing Max earning the title of Agent 86 as he ventures through the events of the film. Overall, the film received a variety of reviews from media critics. Critics such as Roger Ebert claimed that the film was overall a pleasant surprise, while reviewers such as Time magazine's Richard Schickel wrote that, quote, "They, the characters, are all strapped to a hurtling plotline that is heading from one fireball to the next, with only a few not-so-hot Bush Cheney jokes to divert them, and us," end quote. The release of the movie also saw the release of a direct-to-video sister film titled Get Smart's Bruce and Lloyd, Out of Control. The spin-off took place during the events of the movie, focusing on 2 of Control's scientists, Bruce and Lloyd, going out on their own mission to recover their stolen invisibility cloak. Despite the moderate success that the feature film got, the spin-off movie was anything but a hit, selling only a little over 100,000 copies. Regardless of the spin-off sales performance, 4 months later, in October of 2008, it was reported that Warner Brothers would be working on a sequel to Get Smart, with Carell and Hathaway both committed to the project. Years passed with little to no word of a sequel film, aside from Carell stating that one of the potential scripts had been turned down in 2010 due to its poor quality. In 2013, when asked again, Carell was hesitant but blunt about the fact that a sequel would probably never be developed. In an attempt to elaborate on this point, the director of the film, Peter Segal, discussed the future of the film with interviewer Steve Weintraub of Collider, stating, quote, "It was very close. It was a very funny script. I think Get Smart was Alan Horn's baby when he was the head of the studio. When Alan left, I think the life of Get Smart, the series, left with him. It's too bad that Disney can't purchase the rights to that, because I adore Alan, but maybe that will see the light of day. Who knows? Anchorman 2 got made 9 years after the original. There was a version of the script ready to go." End quote. 5 years on, and all the cast and crew involved have moved on to other projects. It is very unlikely that a sequel will ever make it into production, leaving the future of the franchise unknown for now. What started off as a satire of the rising spy genre soon grew into a series with its own identity. It is true that the parody never ended due to the show taking on its own identity, but rather the commentary on James Bond and the like assisted in developing the franchise's sense of self and ideas. Even though there have been no further mentions of the franchise's future in quite a while, Get Smart still holds a special place in the hearts of fans who eagerly await the next adventure of Agent 86.